Hello friends, welcome back to the Art Room with Mr. Eck. Today we're going to be learning about space, distance, and proportion in art. So space and distance are kind of interrelated. I'm not talking about outer space, I'm talking about like the space between objects and how to show that in your art, and then how to correctly use proportion while you're doing that. So let's go straight to the overhead camera and I'll explain exactly what I'm talking about.
Alright, so this is your next door neighbor Dale, and he's waving hello to you. And here's a few things to notice. Number one, Dale is close to us. We can tell because his feet are close to the bottom of the page, and the house behind him is up higher in the page. The higher up on the page, the further away the thing is from the viewer. We are the viewer in this case. And then the lower things are on the page, like Dale here, that means he's closer. So by bringing him down and the house up and the size of them, we've created some space. Now what happens when we don't change anything. All we do is we're going to take Dale, we're going to move him up by the house. What do you notice? Dale is a giant. That's right. If you don't change the size of things, then things get weird. Like, for instance, Dale looks fine when he's out in front of the house, but if you move that same picture of Dale up, then he is much larger than the house, and he's a giant. And that is proportion. Proportion means that things are the correct size compared to each other in your artwork. Now, as long as they're positioned correctly, they are proportional. They are proportional. He is the right size compared to the small house that's far away. But when you put them side by side, he's not proportional anymore. So there's a lot of things you need to pay attention to when you're trying to show distance and proportion in your artwork. So now let me show you what we will be doing to be showing proportion and distance in our artwork today. Alright, so I want you to think of your very favorite food. And I also want you to ask yourself if you can draw that food. So for instance, like if you love spaghetti but you're not sure how to draw spaghetti, then maybe pick a different favorite food that is easier to draw. And we're going to draw our favorite food nice and big right here on the right side of our paper. So I'm going to do that first. I'm going to be drawing a cheeseburger. I don't know if that's my favorite food, but it's my favorite food that I feel like drawing today. So that's what I'm going to draw. Alright, so I got my burger drawn, and I put a little napkin under it because nobody wants to just see a cheeseburger sitting on the table. That's kind of gross. Alright, now I'm going to draw a horizon line, which normally when you're outside, that's the line for like as far as you can see, where the sky meets the ground. But in this case, it's going to be the edge of our table. So I'm going to draw a line right across. It needs to be somewhere about halfway up your food. I need to move this napkin up a little bit. Then I'm going to draw a self-portrait of myself, small, because I'm in the distance this time instead of the house like we just, the example we looked at. So I'm going to draw myself back here, and I'm only going to draw half myself because you're not going to be able to see my feet. So let me show you what I'm talking about, and I think it'll make sense. So we're going to do a self-portrait, excited about our food, over here on the left side. So this drawing now shows proportion and distance. This burger is huge, but it's okay because it's closer, so it's proportionally correct. And it also shows distance because I'm smaller in the background and the cheeseburger is very big. Also notice that I'm higher up on the paper and the burger is lower down. So that also helps. So that's pretty much what we're going to do as far as the drawing. Now we're going to color it. I would suggest colored pencils because you can get pretty exact. If you don't have colored pencils, then markers or crayons would be fine as well. I love markers for some projects, but for projects with little details, like what I would need on this drawing of myself especially, I don't feel like marker is the best choice. So I'm going to suggest color pencil for this, and then also, in most cases, I'm a big fan of black outlines, so I'll do that at the very end. So I'll do that now, and then we'll finish up.
And here is my finished example. We have correct proportion. The cheeseburger is very large because it's closer up, so that's the correct proportion, paired with the distance involved as well. You can tell that I'm way in the background compared to how close the cheeseburger is. And so that's showing distance and proportion. And now it's your turn. I want you to think of your favorite food that you also feel like you could draw very well. And then you're going to draw yourself in the background to show proportion and distance. And then color it in as best you can, give it a nice black outline, and enjoy. I'll see you guys next time in the art room.